Good afternoon. This is a really brief out and back one night overnighter to the Big Four Ice Caves area along the Mountain Loop Highway of Washington Central Cascades. It's a unique trip for me. For one thing, um, very little of it is actually on a trail. Most of it is a road walk along a portion of the Mountain Loop Highway that gets closed during the winter, and it's covered in snow. It's wide and big and flat, and you're literally just walking on the road, among other boot tracks, ski tracks, snowmobile tracks. And then you get to the normal trailhead during the summer, and then I come along on the trail and come over to the Big Four area, which normally you would never stay at. Because as many of you have been here, you know this place is a zoo during the summer. It's packed. You would never want to stay here. I wouldn't actually even be sure if you're allowed to stay here, but there's absolutely no one here now. It is just me. Hope you enjoy. Big Four Mountain comes into view. There's four distinct spikes. Kind of actually looks like five, if you ask me, but I suppose they knew what they were talking about when they named it. Reach the Big Four picnic area. Very popular spot in the summer. Here's the normal trailhead for when you can actually drive here. The old chimney of a hotel. Make sure to sign in at the trail register. There's Mount Dickerman, which I have a video of, and the entrance to the Perry Creek drainage, which I also have a video of. Been up there a couple times. You get to Mount Forgotten from there. Some of you may recognize this bridge. It's the bridge over the river. They've taken the end off of it though, because that apparently is going to stop it from collapsing during the flood season. So you can't get any further on the bridge. And that is why I'm going to ford the river. It will not be fun. It will be very cold. But I got these nice shoes to help keep me secure and to not get my real shoes wet. Whew! That's about as cold as it gets. I mean, it's in the 40s right now in the air, but this water, as I hope is obvious, was just snow. Good thing I have this little towel to dry my poor, cold, soggy feet. Welcome to Big Four. That's where the ice caves usually are once they melt a bit. It's the mountain itself. Here's the bowl. We won't be going anywhere near this wall. Every couple minutes there's a huge bang, and you can hear the avalanches. The small scale avalanches, but avalanches nonetheless. All right, here's the setup. Hammock. Mountains. Mountains. Big Four mountains. In the summer, I'm not actually certain if it is legal to camp here. It might be. It's all national forest, which, within reason, you basically get to do what you want. And I think I'm technically far enough away from the trail, but it's such a zoo here in the summer that you wouldn't want to. There'd be too many people running around until the late hours because it's such a short trail. But at the where the road closes today, there were two other cars besides me. One of them was park rangers who I passed on the way in, and another was another hiker who I passed on the way in. So it's just me. Plus, I forded the stream, which probably no one is going to do. So it's just me out here, which is pretty great. There's lots of solitude. It's very easily accessible, except for the river. Winter area that is picturesque compared to most places you can get to in 3 miles. 2 miles of road walking and 1 mile of a trail. It's not bad. We'll see if I freeze. The hammock, it's tricky to find good spots in a place like this because the trees are either too close together or too small. The tree on this side of me is too small. It sort of barely makes the cut. It's smaller than I'd like to. There's the risk of hurting the tree because it's not actually big enough to support the weight. I shouldn't like fall, it shouldn't break, but there's a small risk of some structural damage, which I really don't like to do. But I mean, I need a place to sleep that's not in the snow, so that's the unfortunate sacrifice. I looked for quite a while to try to find a good spot, and they're very few and far between. But it's not too small of a tree. Well, I spent most of the afternoon just kind of sitting over there, watching the mountain, hearing the avalanches and trying to see them. They're really hard to track down. Must be, I mean, the small ones make a lot of noise apparently. And I sat in my hammock and watched a show. But now it's dinner time. Dinner tonight is a spicy beef chili that I made at home a couple months ago and dehydrated. I've obviously had it at home and it's delicious, but this will be my first time rehydrating it and trying it out in this environment. Oh, it's very good. As with all my dehydrated food, I end up adding too much water and it kind of turns into a soup rather than a chili in this case, but it is delicious. The chunks of beef, oh, they're heaven. All right, I'm boiling water to make tea now. And here's the key thing. I'm gonna make the tea directly in the Nalgene, and I got the tea bag in there. I'm pouring the boiling water directly in here. Do not try this with a knockoff brand. Your water bottle will melt, but with Nalgene's you could do this. And then I'll have some hot tea to sip on. But the real key is that I keep this in my sleeping bag with me, and it stays hot for most of the night, and is literally a hot water bottle to help keep me warm in all this snow. It is one of the key benefits I feel of bringing along a slightly heavier Nalgene over a more ultralight like Smart Water bottle or something like that. Good morning. A bit of a chilly night, but we survived. It didn't rain a single drop on us last night, which is honestly a strange experience for me at this point. I'm used to the pitter-patter all night, usually. But we were forecasted to get rain yesterday evening. We were forecasted to get rain all night. Forecasted to get rain a bunch of today, and we haven't gotten any of it yet, so I feel blessed in that way. But we'll see if I can pack up and get out of here before any of the rain that's supposed to get here does move in. Look who decided to show up. Still a little sneak peek. A sunny summer preview, we might say. And the sun has absolutely decided to poke out her fair head. You can see these lit sections of the cliff face. There's even some blue sky over here. I absolutely was not expecting this. I was expecting to be being rained on right now. And that still might happen later, but for now, I will take this. All right, all packed up. Rain still hasn't come. Let's see if we can get out of here. I do not look forward to fording that river again. But if it's still not raining at that point, then it means I can at least dry my feet off. If it is raining, then I'm gonna have a real hard time doing that. Goodbye, Big Four. I am sure I will be back. I haven't highlighted this yet, but I just wanted to look at these. There's a faint white noise throughout this entire bowl, and that's because there's just hundreds of icy waterfalls that are half frozen but half running throughout this whole cliff face. I mean, you could see the wet streaks throughout the entire cliff. But every vertical white line you see over the cliff, I'll center one right in screen that I can see the water moving on, although you likely can't. But there's just waterfalls coming down everywhere, very slowly in a trickle. I'm sure in April and May it becomes a lot more than a trickle. Did you catch that boom? Some kind of avalanche up there. I haven't been able to see hardly any of them, but I've heard a whole lot. You can see a little pond and the stream bed down there that has a very short trip back to its headwaters. In the summer, it emerges right from the base of this, and I mean, it emerges right from there now, we just can't see it, where there are ice caves. We've reached the bridge. No rain yet. Let's see if we can cross. Good morning, sunshine. River doesn't look shallower. It doesn't look shallower than it was yesterday, which is a bummer. I was hoping it would. The streams are often shallower in the mornings because it's been cold all night, so less snow has been melting. But I also don't have as good of a vantage from this side, so I might just not be able to see properly. Well, it was definitely shallower than yesterday, so I was wrong about that, but I think it was also colder, if possible. Look at the sun hits a little different, or the peaks hit a little different when there's sun on them. You can't complain about that. Farewell, bridge. May you stay shut down so that people like me can have this place to ourselves. Maybe. Or maybe you could be put up so that everyone can enjoy this. But for now, it was pretty great. Look at these two little, I think they're blue jays. One center frame, two center frame. But they are just poof balls. They are really trying to stay warm. And they're adorable. Oh, one just pooped. The top one just pooped on top of the bottom one. But look how poofy they are. They are doing their best to stay warm. All right, we're back to the summer trailhead, which means we just have 2 miles of road walking to get back to the car. And the road, I've already showed you the views and whatnot, and then we have got even better views as we got closer to the mountain. So unless something exciting happens, this is where I'll leave you. Thanks for tuning in.